Good morning. Give me a moment here to get onto my cushion. Trying to get all the technical stuff set up here. My name is Alexa Newman, and I would like to welcome you to Yin Yoga. For those of you that are new to a Yin practice, Yin is a gentle, slow version of yoga. It's mostly floor-based, so we will be on the floor for almost the entire practice. We rely on using props. The philosophy is that using a prop is like an extension of your body. So this would be a great time for you to gather these items if you don't have them already with you. You can use, like I said, bolsters. I'm sitting on a small one that's called a zafu. It's a meditation cushion. You can use a bigger one. I've got the purple one there behind me. You can use sturdy pillows, furniture cushions. Folded blankets or towels are always great. I've got a towel right here. Yoga blocks are helpful as well. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use sturdy books or boxes, something that can actually help support your weight. And then a yoga strap, webbed belts or dog leashes, those can also work in a pinch. But you want something that is wide enough that is not going to bind you or cause any kind of an injury. So you don't want to use something too thin. We're going to begin. We hold poses for about 3 to 5 minutes. And we begin class with opening meditation to calm ourselves and get us into a mindful frame of mind. And then we end with a meditation as well. So I'd like to invite you now to bring yourself into an easy seated position that is comfortable for you. Like I said, you may want to sit on a cushion to help raise your tailbone just a little bit and shift your center of gravity. If your legs are feeling tight and it's really hurting you to have those thighs and hips open up, you can always take yoga blocks and set them underneath your knees or whatever height, or you can fold up the towels or blankets. Because in Yin, we very much want our bodies to relax. We don't hold our muscles tight, they're not flexed. We are trying to release and open them. So I want you to be comfortable. And some days you may need the block and some days you may not. We're all different each and every day. Each practice is new and unique. So let's get into that easy seated position. And I'd like you to bring your hands to your knees. And if you are feeling it's available to you, have palms up and even bring your fingers and your first finger and your thumb together into what we call the Anjali Mudra. That's my cat Trixie. She may be joining us, everybody. Yeah. I'd like you to close your eyes and start relaxing and focus on your breathing. Our meditation today for the morning we're going to start with is talking about self-acceptance and how important it is to be accepting of who we are, where we are at this point in our life's journey. And so this I found in Yoga Journal, and is really nice. It's got several suggestions of ways, exercises to progress in our self-acceptance. Their first suggestion is to be a hunter of beauty. Beauty hunting means looking around and counting as many gorgeous miracles as you possibly can absorb in that moment. Things like the sound of rain on your roof, clouds floating across the sky, puppies, babies, the smell of the grill or fresh cut grass or a really great beer. It's actually kind of impossible to be miserable and ungrateful when you're collecting lovely things. You'll be surprised. The more beauty that you seek and appreciate about a person or a place or an experience helps quiet the inner monologue about what's annoying you. And the more that you find these things, the more you'll actually like yourself too. Love and compassion are just muscles. Use them on others when it is too hard to use them on yourself. And pretty soon it will be difficult to remember why you were being so self-critical in the first place. The next suggestion, try to outsmart your inner asshole. Excuse the language. Your IA is that voice that's telling you that you're awful and that no one likes you and you're never going to accomplish your dreams and you're stupid for even wanting them. Your IA is never going to stop trying to tell you BS stories, messages of self-doubt that are completely unfounded, but they're often paralyzing to us. So some ways to do this is to write them down and then close your eyes and think about someone who makes you feel safe and loved and understood. And then write a letter to yourself. We could do this in our head. Write that letter to yourself from that person's point of view. So how does that person who loves you feel about you? Another exercise to practice your self-acceptance is to embrace your vulnerability. Be honest with it. You can think about your deepest fears about yourself and read it out loud. If you share all of those worries, there will be no pretenses to have to keep up with. Creates kind of a safe space. And then you can give yourself that metaphorical medal. You deserve to be proud of your accomplishments. Think about all the things you have done and accomplished. And give yourself that pat on the back. You deserve it. Just for surviving, getting up out of bed every day, and making it through. Okay. So, those are all things to ponder on. And I'd like you to now focus on your breathing. You should be breathing in and out through our nose. Feeling it come down into our belly. You should be relaxed. Release those muscles in your legs. Relax your hips and your thighs and your knees. Relax your glutes, your shoulders, your arms. You can allow even to relax your neck and allow your head to fall forward. And just breathe for a few moments. Okay. Open up your eyes. And when you are ready, I invite you to grab your bolster, and we are going to start our practice in reclining butterfly. Okay. And this pose, like I said, you may want your bolster. Bring it behind you to your small of your back. You may also want your blocks. And we get into this pose by bringing our feet bottoms together like this. You may want to sit with the blocks on your knees, and then we're going to recline back against the bolster and bring our palms down to our sides with their palms facing up. Once you're here, I want you to relax. Let that tongue off the roof of your mouth. Maybe open your jaw just a little bit. And then let go and release. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back and your neck. Allow them to drape on either side of your bolster, opening up your heart center. Relax all the muscles down your spine. Release your glutes and your hips. Relax those thighs, those hamstrings, those IT bands. Relax the muscles around your knees, your calves, your feet. Feel yourself sinking towards the floor. Your breath should be coming slow and steady. Breathing deeply through our nose. As you relax, your body melts towards the floor. Those joints open up a little bit further. Stretching the tendons and the ligaments. Allow gravity to do the work for you. Okay. At this point, I want you to sit up, and we're going to come around onto our hands and knees for a round of cat and cow. So you can move your bolster aside. And the best way to get into this position is to stand on your knees for a moment and then come down. Onto your hands and knees. I want you to have your shoulders stacked, wrist, elbow, shoulder directly in a line. And when you are directly aligned, keep your hands wide open. You're not going to feel a tremendous amount of pressure on your shoulders or your wrists and your hands. If you are feeling that pressure, you might want to adjust because this is one of the cool tricks that our bodies share with us. And that's the ability to let the skeleton actually support us. So, while we're here, we're in a neutral position. Cow, we allow the belly to drop down towards the floor. And we're going to look up towards the wall across from us. And we're going to rotate the creases of our elbows out towards the wall in front of us. For cat, we're going to arch our back up, bring those elbow creases in so they face each other, and then drop back down into cow. You exhale on your way up into cat, inhale to cow. Let's do a few of those, and I want you to move at the pace of your own breath. Maybe each time arching a little higher, sinking a little bit lower. Really get a nice stretch and flex in that spine. Okay, we're going to come down to neutral. And our next pose, I want you to come down to sitting. This is called deer. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to I'm starting on the side, I'm going to bring my left leg, bend that foot back, so my heel is towards my tushy. I'm going to bend the right knee, so my foot is towards the top of my left thigh. And then I'm going to twist and look towards the short edge of my mat, towards the wall in front of me. This is the first variation of deer. If you wish to express the pose a little bit more deeply, you could come down onto your elbows or your bolster. Or to go into full expression of the pose, you could come all the way down and rest your head on the floor. I'm going to be on my elbows just so I can actually talk to you and talk about the correct positioning. Now, once you're here, you can drop your head towards the floor if it's not actually resting on the floor. If you're on the bolster, turn so your cheek is resting on the bolster. And now we're going to relax. Release those muscles. Relax, starting all the way down at your toes. Let them go. Release. go of those glutes and the thighs. Relax your shoulders and your arms. You'll find maybe that as you're relaxing, your body wants to release towards the floor. And just allow it. You're like a jellyfish or the kids' bottles of slime. You're just oozing around your skeleton. And as we relax, this will open our joints to a fuller range of motion. We allow gravity to do the work for us. Focus on your breath. Feel it moving in and out of your body from your diaphragm down. Okay. Let's start to walk our hands back up till you're in a seated position. Untwist. Bring those legs around in front of you. You to reposition your tushy a little bit. We're going to shake those legs out gently, kind of like you're pushing pedals. And we'll come to stillness. We're going to now do the stretch on the opposite side because we want to have the symmetry. We honor symmetry in yoga. It's part of the reason we call it a yin practice and yang practice. So let's take that right leg now, bend the knee and bring the heel around, back towards the tushy. Bend the left leg and bring that left foot towards the top of your right thigh. And now we're going to twist and look towards the short edge of the mat, the wall. Okay? And if this is as far as you want to go, that's great. You are in deer. If you want to express the pose a little bit deeper, you come down onto your elbows or a cushion, or you can come down to the floor, as I said. Once you're here, we're relaxing. We're going to let go and release. Part of the reason we hold the poses, as long as we do, is to allow the body to stretch, allows the fascia to separate and kind of break up. We have a lot of connective tissue in our body, and that connective tissue is part of what holds the muscles in place. It holds our organs in place. But if we have an injury or we don't have enough activity, the connective tissue continues to grow and it builds up almost like a web. And it can create mobility issues. It can actually freeze up joints. It creates knots in our muscles. When we feel a knot in our leg or in an arm where a muscle is kind of knotted up, sometimes it is actually scar tissue. or fascia that's kind of gotten out of control. It builds that up around an injury to protect us, but then it hardens and we have to actually work through it to break it up. And yin is slow. We allow gravity in our bodies to work for us. And by relaxing, those joints just naturally will open up. Okay, let's begin to walk our hands back up to bring us into a seated position. Untwist your body. Straighten out those legs in front of you. Okay, give yourself a nice wiggle back and forth. Let's reposition the tushy a little bit, and then we are going to come into butterfly. I'm facing you. You probably want to be facing the long way along the mat, but this way you can see the pose from the front. We're going to bring our feet bottoms together. One way, the butterfly is a little bit different in yin than in a vinyasa practice, is that you don't have to have your feet bottoms as close together because once again, the point is not to have flexion, it is to have relaxation. The next thing is if you want to have blocks under your knees to relax. If you're feeling tightness along here, please bring the blocks in because we do not want you to feel pain in a yoga practice. Yoga should never ever be painful. There's a difference between feeling a little bit of a stretch and discomfort from the stretch as opposed to actual pain. And if you are questioning the difference, err on the side of doubt. Okay? The other thing is that there are curves in yoga, in Yin Yoga. In Vinyasa, you would come down with a straight back and then bring your face forward. In Yin, allow yourself to fold over in a curved manner. You may wish to bring your bolster and hug it towards you. And if this is all the further you can go today, that's okay. The full expression of the pose is to actually have your nose towards your feet and the knees on the floor, but be gentle with yourself and accept where you are in your journey today. I'd like you to relax and let go. Focus on your breath. We are in the moment here and now. If inside thoughts intrude, acknowledge them and let them go. Okay, let's come up. Move these aside. Okay. Our next pose is a counter to what we were doing. We were just bending forward. We're now going to go into a version of a back bend. This is called fish. Okay, so I want you to position so your tushy, your sit bones, S-I-T, sit bones, are even on the floor beneath you. You're going to take your hands and we're going to sit on our hands, on our fingers, and then we're going to come back onto our elbows. And if this is all the further you can go, it's okay. And you might want to keep your chin folded down. If you are comfortable with it, you can allow your head to drop back and look at the wall behind you. This is a fairly intense back bend. And if you have trouble breathing, I want you to bring your head back up and tuck your chin and look forward. This pose is said to activate the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. It's particularly vulnerable for the throat chakra, which is why people sometimes have trouble breathing in this pose. I want you to feel like your belly button is sinking towards the floor. Maybe you're sinking deeper into the back bend and your head is reaching closer and closer to the floor. Okay, our next pose, we're going to sit up again, and we are going to move into what they call in Yin, we call it caterpillar. It's called staff in a vinyasa class. What I want you to do is position yourself. Once you can get yourself settled here. You may wish to grab your bolster or your strap if you have it. And we want to make sure we maintain a little bit of a micro bend. It's kind of hard to see with my gray mat. A micro bend in your knee. Don't lock your knees. It can create injuries. So if you have a tendency to lock those knees, you might even want to take a towel or a blanket and roll it up a little bit and put it underneath those knees to keep them from locking, okay? What we're going to do is lean forward. Once again, not going to have a flat back. We allow ourselves to curve. You're choosing to use your strap. Using your strap, lean forward. Put it around the ball mounts of your feet. That's the big fleshy part right under your toes. Never put the strap on your arches. That could create an injury in your plantar fascia. Lean forward as far as is comfortable. Grab hold of that strap And then relax your arms and allow yourself to fold forward. If you are flexible and you can grab onto your feet, do so. And as you relax your lower back, your shoulders, you should be able to fold further forward into the stretch. You may even be able to get your toes all the way down towards your knees. If you can't, that's fine. If you just want to hold your ankles, that's okay. If you want to hug your pillow and lean forward on it, that's fine. What's important is to keep that microbend and to keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling, your knees pointing towards the ceiling. We don't want those legs turning out. Okay, let's come up. We're going to come around onto our knees and we're going to go into a child's pose. And today I'm really feeling wide-legged child's pose. There are so many variations on child's pose. I'm going to do a variation today. Where it's a wide leg. So for this, I'm going to take my knees out towards the edges of the mat. I'm going to come down. And the goal is to try and sit on your heels. Bring our forehead towards the floor. If this is not available to you, that's fine. You may wish to bring your bolster under your torso and then sink onto the bolster and allow it to support you and hug it in this fashion. The other thing I'm going to do, you could always have your hands in front of you to your sides. Today I am feeling the urge to actually have my hands in prayer position. So to do this, I bring them into prayer position. I bring my head down towards the floor. And then I lift my elbows up until my thumbs come back towards my back. Allow yourself to relax. Feel yourself folding closer in, having that tushy coming closer to your heels. Maybe your belly and head sinking closer into the floor. Okay, come back up to a tabletop. Our next pose is called cat pulling the tail. And we don't do this one very often, so you might want to watch me for the cues before you go into it fully. What we're going to do So we're going to come down onto our sides, resting on our elbow. I'm on my right elbow and my right hip. Oops, gotta move that bolster out of the way. Next thing I'm going to do is grab my right foot with my left hand behind me, and then I'm going to bring my right leg out in front of me, where my right foot has become my cat's tail. If I want to go further into the pose, I can actually lay down completely on my side all the way down and have my right arm stretched out in front of me, and I'm resting on, have my right ear on my right arm. I actually find this easier than resting up on the shoulder, but this is considered the full expression of the pose. Now, if you can't actually hold on to your foot, that's okay. You could just have that right leg with the knee bent behind you and try and reach your left arm behind you. Relax, let go of those muscles. Don't tense yourself up. You'll find if you release, the body will actually open into the stretch. Relax those thighs, the muscles around your knees, let go of your glutes, and you'll find, see, when I'm tensing versus coming down, my leg just falls forward. Continue to breathe. Okay, let's release that foot. We were holding on to it. We're going to bring legs up, and then you can just roll over onto your other side. I'm going to twist this direction. We're going to come now onto the left elbow, supporting ourselves on the side. And then we're going to take our right hand and grab that left foot behind us. Bring the right leg forward. And then come all the way down. Like I said, if you're not feeling that stretch, you don't have to hang on to your foot. Continue to breathe. I want you to breathe, release that tongue from the roof of your mouth. Stop worrying about what you've got to do later today. The worries will be there at the end of the hour. Relax those muscles. Relax your feet. Relax the muscles around your knees and your calves, your thighs. Let go. Relax your glutes, your lower back. Relax your shoulders. Continue to breathe in and out. Okay, let's bring those legs back together, unbend them. We're going to transition now into a reclining swan. So you can roll over onto your backs. I want you to bend your knees, bring your feet bottoms to the floor. You may want to lift up your tushy to reposition to make sure that you're centered. Feel your spine all the way along. You might need to reposition your shoulders to make sure that you're settled and centered. When you're ready, I want you to pick up your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. And then allow the knee to kind of drop forward towards your foot. When you're ready, we're going to pick up the left knee. We're going to take our hands, wrap them around the outside of the thigh there, and then grab them. And if you can actually interlace your fingers, you can do that. If not, you can just hold on to your thigh. We're going to bring it forward. Pull it in towards you as far as is comfortable. Continue to breathe. Relax your shoulders. Your breath should be coming from deep in your belly, down by your diaphragm. Let's relax those hands. Bring that left foot back down towards the floor. So uncross those legs. And now we're going to let the knees drop to one side and then come back over to the other. And do that a couple of times, back and forth. And then come to stillness. Now let's take that left foot, cross it over the right knee. Allow that to open out a little bit. And then we're going to pick up that right knee. Put our hands around the outside of the thigh. And then bring it towards your chest. Breathe in and out. Your thoughts are wandering, bring them back to this moment. Acknowledge your thoughts and then let them go. Let's release those hands. Bring that foot down to the floor, uncross. Allow your feet and knees to drop from one side to the other. Okay, let's come to stillness. You may want to lift up your tushy again to reposition. Feel your spine all the way from your tailbone up to the crown of your head. Our final pose before Shavasana is Happy Baby. I want you to bring your feet up, grab your toes, your big toes, with your first and second fingers. And then we're going to pull those knees towards our armpits. You may want to rock side to side gently. Or you may feel the desire to stretch your legs out into a V. An important thing with Happy Baby, I want you to keep the small of your back on the floor. Do not curve it. Try and have that tailbone on the floor. Having that curve in Happy Baby opens you up to some low back injury. The safer expression of the pose is to keep the small of your back against the floor. Come to stillness. I want you to relax all of your muscles. That includes your arms. So gravity is pulling those fingers and toes to bring those knees closer to our armpits. Take 3 more breaths. And then we're going to come down and prepare for Shavasana, which is our final pose and meditation. Because it is a cool down, you may wish to get a blanket or your sweater, put on your socks. You're going to extend your legs, or you may want to put your legs up the wall or on a bolster. I prefer to have you on your back at least, so your gaze is up towards the ceilings and your palms down towards your sides with the palms facing up. Today's final meditation was written by Nicole Cardoza, who is a teacher. This was published in Yoga Journal. And this is about finding abundance. And it spoke to me, so I wanted to share it with you. This meditation is good whenever we're feeling depleted in some way, especially from things that are like happening in the world right now, or from social media, or if you haven't found a way to be able to cultivate your energy that you need to get through the day. It helps remind ourselves of all the things that bring us joy, wonder, and awe. I invite you to notice how your body feels connected to the earth, and allow yourself to be here in this moment and in this breath. How does it feel to be here now? It may feel scary or uncomfortable or just right. Allow it to be without judgment and without shame. Notice how the present feels in your breath. Allow your breaths to be short and shallow or long and deep. And as you breathe, notice if you have space for a little bit more air with each inhalation. Perhaps drawing in and out through your nose. Give yourself permission to take in a little bit more air and release it. Allow your breath to fill in through your nose, through your lungs, down into your belly, and then out again, exploring all of the space and capacity that you have. Fill yourself with breath, and then gently let it go. See if you can give yourself more time, allowing for a few more seconds to slow your inhalation and exhalation, making the most of each magical moment of breath. Now, with each inhale, allow your body to fill the space around you, drawing up through the crown of your head, breathing into the widest parts of your shoulders. Allow your chest and belly to expand into the room. And with each exhale, connect more deeply with the earth. Relax your muscles, soften your bones, and let the earth hold you a bit more with each breath out. Take a few more breaths here. Allow your breath and your body to fill the space inside and around you. Let this space help you to expand. And if at any point you notice yourself thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, just come back here to this moment. You deserve every inch of this present space. Take a deep, full breath in and let a long, slow breath out. Again, take a deep breath in. Fill that space inside and out, and then exhale. On your next breath in, think of something or someone who makes you feel full, rich, and whole. Imagine this person or thing in your mind and notice how it makes you feel. Breathe it in. Draw it into every part of your being. Let it fill you from your chest to your belly, to the top of your head, and the sides of your shoulders. With each exhale, let it sink in and move through you. If this feels good, Take a few more breaths, allowing your body and breath to move with this experience, with the emotions. Let them all move through, savoring every second right here, right now. Let each breath fill you like golden honey from a cup, your sunshine on a warm day. Draw it in with each breath, allowing it to settle with each exhalation. Take all of the time that you need here. Let yourself overflow. Notice how it feels to fill every part of you, even spaces that might feel empty or left behind. At your own pace, slowly begin to move the parts of your body that feel ready. Perhaps wiggle your fingers, your toes, or your shoulders. Notice the sounds that you hear. Notice if your body or breath feel different than they did before. Allow yourself to continue in the present moment, full and at ease. Okay. You were wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe it's time to start making some circles with your wrists or your ankles. When you're ready, you could roll onto your side. Hug your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a nice hug and a squeeze. And then when you're ready, gently bring yourself up to an easy seated position of your choice. Once we're here, we're going to take 3 rounds of sun breath. Do that by taking our hands out to our sides. We inhale, we bring our hands up over our heads. On the inhale, exhale, bring them down. Inhale up. Exhale, bring them down. On the last inhale, stop. Gather positive energy and thoughts. Bring them through our vision center into our hearts. The light in me sees the light in you. I honor you as you honor me. That is a translation of the word namaste. I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you and be well. Namaste, everyone.